was on Oprah one time. In between shows, she filmed, should I tell this story?
Of course.
She had that woman, the husband of the woman Yates, who drowned her kids, who murdered her kids, and was there for that filming with some law school friends. And in between, Oprah said, okay, well, I want the audience to stay, and I'm going to go change and then come back, and we're going to do a recorded show with some authors of some books that really were bad. But, so the guy says, well, is there anybody in the audience that has ever wanted to perform in front of a big audience? My law school friend takes my hand and raises it. So I have to make a split decision here. Like, there are a couple hundred people in the audience, and I have nothing. So do I just totally wing it and go in front of this audience, or do I say, oh, no, that wasn't really my hand, she's put it there. So I just said, all right, I'll go with this. So I went down, and I was sat in her chair, and her water was there with the straw, and I leaned over like I was going to touch it.
She used a metal straw, an aluminum straw.
And I don't even remember.
Oh.
It was sticking out. It was that bent straw, and I was like, ha ha, Oprah. But I didn't. But and I danced and did this song, and so it was really cool though, because the lady who was supposed to sell T-shirts, because sell the Oprah Winfrey Show shirts, she wasn't there that day, and it was a total scene, and I got a T-shirt for performing.
You got to take your moment. You've got to seize the moment, right?
Yes.
Did you see the thing about Billy Joel? Billy Joel was speaking, or did you see this? Speaking or singing or something, I don't know. And so this college student in the audience, and I don't mean some generic, like he was from Harvard or something, music student in the audience raised his hand and said, can I come play a song for you and have you sing? And Billy Joel said, come on up.
Man.
And the guy went up there and started playing, and Billy Joel started singing, and then the guy just took off and started. I mean, it was his moment,
That is awesome.
And they interviewed him later. I saw this morning on the news. They interviewed him later and said, what made you ask? And he said, I was scared to death, but I knew it was my one chance. So that was your one chance.
Yeah, I meant to write Oprah and tell her, I was on the show, and I don't know if you recorded it, but it was a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal for me. I went and signed up for Second City right after that.
You might have ended up with your own show. The Bolshoi Ballet is hundreds of years old, and apparently it's a very political organization. You think of it just being as something artistic, but apparently everything in Russia is rather corrupt, and it is a branch of the government, the ballet is. So anyway, their artistic director, which is one of their leadership positions, he decides who gets what parts, and the parts that people get directly affect their income. And there's a significant difference in people who more or less dance in the chorus, I don't know if that's what it's called, versus people who get solo parts. Huge difference in their pay, which is a big deal.
Sounds familiar.
In Russia. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was on his way home one night, and as he was walking into his apartment building, someone called his name, and he turned around, and they threw sulfuric acid in his face. And now, even 3 or 4 weeks later, they don't know if they're going to be able to save his eyes. I mean, he's having, of course.
You were going to say dance again.
No, he doesn't dance anymore.
No, but it sounded.
And then, of course, the government came in and did a big investigation and everything, and it was someone in the ballet that put a contract out because the guy's girlfriend didn't get the part that he thought that she should have gotten. And the artistic director's wife got it.
Oh.
So I was reading this article in the New Yorker magazine the other day. It was very long. It was very interesting. And I don't know anything about this, but it was a very lengthy 12-page article, and I read every word because it just drew me in so much. Because now they're saying the government in Russia is so corrupt. This guy would never do something like that, and he's been coerced and beaten and forced to confess to something that he actually had nothing to do with. So it's all very interesting to me. And, George, I don't know if it's Balanchine or Balanchine. He was one of the first in the Bolshoi Ballet. And I'm sure that's a name you're familiar with. It's not.
No.
Okay, well, anyway, he's a very famous ballet dancer.
In Black Swan.
And he danced the lead role when he was 12 years old in the Bolshoi, which was, the Bolshoi is a major ballet company in the world. and this was kind of the beginning of the Bolshoi ballet really coming into prominence and all that kind of stuff. But it's amazing to me that George Balanchine did that when he was 12.
Did he have problems after that? Like, we have child actors who do not just something where you're sort of instantly famous, but where you actually
Yeah, kind
really
of like the Little Rascals.
Well, yeah, or
My Three Sons.
Yeah, but so no.
Leave It to Beaver.
Macaulay Culkin, or I'm trying to think of like Tatum O'Neal. Remember, she did such a good, and then she just was wiped out from that. How was he with this success and fame at 12, and then after that?
I didn't know him. It was in 1916.
Okay.
So
you know, the underwire bra wasn't invented then. Okay, so I have a story. It's not a last question kind of a thing.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
One is I think I'm going to talk about this local story. The other one is we can discuss. It's not as important, but
That scares me when local is in the comment.
it scares me when local is in the comment. But this one's relatively safe. So they caught this attorney from Baton Rouge illegally digging in the park.
In the military
In the military park, just out in this big field area. And
Who was the attorney from Baton Rouge? Can you say his name?
It said his name, and I didn't write it down. But here's the thing: he has these teenagers. So for Christmas, he got them a metal detector and some trenching tools. Can you imagine that morning? Like, Santa came. Yeah. What is that about? And a trenching tool. So it's very odd from the get-go.
Well, did he know that you can't do that in a national park?
You should know that you can't go digging in a military park and take the
Did he get arrested?
Patty Montague got after him.
Who's Patty Montague?
She's one of the rangers in the park. She is serious. I love Patty Montague. You can count on her. But they had this hole. Somebody reported this hole, and they traced the dirt in the hole. They found him, and they traced his shovel, and it was a match.
Interesting.
It was like DNA, but with dirt.
Mm-hmm. Dirt and A.
Dirt and A. Mm-hmm. And also, I wanted to see if you can say sesquicentennial.
No, you said it wrong. Sesquicentennial.
Wrong.
That's what I'm talking about. Sesquicentennial. That is.
Sesquicentennial.
Okay, what was it you want me to try to pronounce correctly? That you pronounced incorrectly?
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial.
Very good.
Sesquicentennial. Is that not right? That's when you said no.
Close.
Anyway, the park made me think of that. So
Okay.
that was my.
Well, I have one
local
last
story. Okay.
Well, wait, before we get to that, I just want to mention this one thing.
Okay.
This isn't a riddle that I usually do.
Okay.
I just thought this was a little bit more than interesting. Officials at a Roman Catholic church in Pittsburgh have a holy mystery on their hands. They say somehow someone stole the building's organ and the 200 massive pipes required to play it. How do you get 200 pipes out of a balcony that you can only... I don't know if you've ever seen a pipe organ
Yes.
installed in a church.
Yes.
But you know, what you see and what you don't see, there's way more that you don't see than what you do see. There are lots more pipes that you don't see. So there were 200 massive pipes. And a lot of them, you had to go down a narrow flight of steps. And to be installed, they were lowered over a balcony, and they were only accessed by a ladder into the ceiling.
And they're just gone?
The whole organ's gone.
Wow. That's pretty. That's
From a church.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, steel.
I
no.
mean, stealing
but still
organs
from a church.
Yeah, stealing organs in New Orleans, like that kidney black market thing, that is one thing. But taking the whole set out of a church is just... And those organs, the pipes, I'm going to tell you why I love those pipes.
Are we
I'm
flipping
serious.
back and forth between a pipe organ and like
Yeah.
human organs?
Well, there's an organ black market. This is a serious organ black market because although it is kind of hard to remove a
a
kidney,
kidney one isn't.
those pipes, they're like men, like singing. Because each one has the little, I always picture them like,
Could be women.
Yeah, but they don't have much hair. So.
All right.
Yes, so,
Time
and I
to
do have
stop
one little quick news bit of story to tell you. Because
Then
I
I'm going to
thought-
do my one
okay.
last question,
All right.
and you're going to be done.
This is...
And so,
So
we.
this couple, I don't remember where this was, but this just tickled me. But they went and got some donuts at this local grocery store, and they broke up razor blades and put razor blades in the donuts, and they ate them They were going to sue the company, get some money. They were highly in debt. So we're filming right now. Can you take a message? So they gave it to a coworker, and they were charged with aggravated assault because they knew that it had razor blades in it, and gave it to the coworker who took a bite and realized it. But the police investigated, and they found out it was a sham. So what are you thinking?
Bizarre. That's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
I mean, where do people come up with things like that?
I don't know. How did that discussion go? You know, when I look, we're broke.
Yeah, let's get some razor
So
blades
let's
and
get-
try to hurt ourselves
And
and
let's
somebody
swallow
else.
them. Yeah.
It would be kind of like, I don't know, watching stuff on your iPad while you're driving down the road and hurting yourself or
does
somebody
that?
else. Okay,
Awful.
so last week we talked about this guy who received a summons for whistling.
Mm.
Remember that?
That was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, guy that received a
He had to
summons
keep
for whistling,
walking.
and the judge said, yes, you're guilty, but you just can't, if you're going to whistle, you have to be moving. You can't stand still and whistle in front of these businesses. Okay, so this week, this man received 2 summons for disturbing the peace. Police responded to his neighbor's house after receiving complaints that that I'm talking about could be heard from across the driveway. And so the guy, this 42-year-old man, was charged with acting in such a manner as to annoy, disturb, interfere with, obstruct, or to be offensive to others. And at his arraignment, the judge declined to dismiss the charges.
How
What
does
did he
one-
do?
What was the charge again?
With acting in such a manner as to annoy, disturb, interfere with, obstruct, or be offensive to others. Do you know what he was doing that his neighbors found so offensive?
I have an answer that's very inappropriate.
Well, this is not inappropriate, so it might be good not to say that.
I won't say that.
Because you say inappropriate things and it embarrasses me.
Okay, I won't.
Laughing.
This is like Footloose. Dancing is a crime. Laughing is a crime.
Yeah.
What was he like? What was the?
Apparently, it was so obnoxious that the neighbors had to call the police.
It was like Eddie Murphy's laugh and like.
And then it says,
Beverly Hills Cop.
he said that his neighbor often taunts him due to his. He says he suffers some seizures and neurological impairments, and his neighbors taunt him for being disabled, and so he just deals with it by laughing. He was charged with disturbing the peace.
I would hope the judge threw that out.
He didn't. It said he didn't. It said he declined to dismiss the charges.
You know why? It's no laughing matter.
That's the end.